My name is Eric William Funkhouser, and I'm 46 years old and married to my wife, Brooke Funkhouser. And we have twin boys that are 19 years old, Dylan and Caleb Funkhouser. And we live in Franklin, and I've worked in the fire service now for going on 25 years. So what happened that day, that weekend was Labor Day weekend for us, and we were just kind of do some mattress shopping on Monday. So we got out and started going around and doing some shopping and everything. And then after getting the mattresses, and I remember pulling into the parking lot, and next thing I know, my wife's calling 911 and they're showing up and taking me to the hospital. So I ended up going to the ER here in Johnson County and was there for a while that evening and everything. And they ran some tests, and when they ran some tests, did a CT scan, they noticed an abnormality in my brain when they did that. So that evening we ended up transferring to Franciscan Health. When I woke up in the ICU, a good friend of mine had reached out to Dr. Shaw and had asked him to come in and take a look at it. So he'd come down, and when I remember waking up in the ICU and Dr. Shaw was in the ICU and kind of explaining everything to me. So he said, "We have time to look and see what we can do about this, and we want you to make your decision on what you think's best." So we all decided as a family and as a group together with Dr. Shaw that the best course of action to move forward was to go ahead and have the surgery to have it completely removed. Making the decision to have the surgery and to move forward was a huge deal for us. And then getting it scheduled so quick. So the one thing I didn't want to do is I didn't want to wait a long time from the time that we found out what was going on. I mean, it had already caused me to have a seizure already, and so it was changing our life completely. The one thing that I've always said about Dr. Shaw, and my whole family felt the same way, is his bedside manner was fantastic. So from the time he started talking to us and explaining everything, we felt like he was a friend of ours and just kind of explaining and wanting the best for us. And then my favorite part for me when I woke up is the confidence that he had in knowing and what he wanted to do. So, you know, if I'm going to work with somebody that's going to go, you know, open my brain up and do a surgery, I want somebody that's very confident in their abilities. Talking to him, I got this feeling like he had a good feeling from the very get-go. When he came in and talked to me in the ICU, he's like, "We can get this." And he's like, "We need to look at it, and we want you to see everything and sit down and let me walk you through all the steps of what it is." The tumor itself was a decent-sized tumor to start with. When I came out of surgery, he kind of explained that the piece that he ended up having to cut out was roughly the size of my fist, is what he had to, because it had grown into different parts of the front lobe of the brain there on the right side of my brain. And he said if it hadn't been for the seizure and getting to do what, and catching it when we did, that it would have kept growing unchecked, possibly for the next couple years, and it could have gotten to the point where there wouldn't have been anything we could have done about it. The follow-up after the surgery, you know, was really good with him as well. So we were very thankful for everything that he did, you know, with Franciscan Health and doing everything there. It was fantastic. And, you know, after the surgery was done, they moved me to the ICU for a day. And then after, you know, being in the ICU for 24 hours, then they moved me up to the neuro wing, where I met a bunch of amazing people that worked with me up there, between all the nurses and everybody that was up there helping us out. After that, then we got transferred down to the inpatient rehab area. So we met some amazing people that, you know, put a lot of hard work in and everything after the surgery. The inpatient rehab was fantastic to work with. So Dr. Mehta kept me very up to date on everything that was going on, you know, after the surgery, and, you know, helped us make sure that we were getting everything that we needed on the inpatient rehab. And, you know, that was one of the big things that we needed some speech and some occupational therapy and everything else. So he worked with us to make sure that we were getting all of that. And then all the therapists did a fantastic job, like I said before, of pushing me every day. So it was kind of nice. You know, I'd get a schedule every night when I was in the hospital. So they'd come in and kind of give me my schedule for the next day of what was going on. So you'd know exactly what to expect and what time they were coming the next day. So, you know, I'd have my schedule and know that I'd be doing physical therapy at some point, occupational, and, you know, my speech therapy every day, and who was coming to see me. So that was really nice. And then each one of them knew what I had done before and where I wanted to be back to. And all of the therapists did a fantastic job of pushing really hard and making sure that we were working hard through therapy, along with Dr. Mehta, to make sure that we were getting back to 100% and getting to where we need to be, you know, with my brain rewiring and everything after surgery. So, you know, the therapy helped out a ton, taking whatever deficits that we had and working on those and then fixing those as fast as they could to make sure that we could get back to where I'm at today. What they've come up with right now for my treatment plan moving forward is We just are going to monitor it every 3 months. And what we've been doing right now is building relationships with an oncologist and a radiation oncologist so that we joke around all the time, we feel like we've got an all-star team in place right now that's ready to go if anything happens. So, if for some reason it starts to grow back or if we have to do anything else, we feel like we've got the perfect team ready to go. And that's been the best thing about this whole thing for me and my family is everything we've done. They've been fantastic with working with me and my wife and my kids and just kind of explaining the whole process to us and making sure that we all know what each step looks like so we know what to expect over the next 5 to 10 years as well. When we found out, we just asked for prayers from everybody, and we were very thankful for being at Franciscan Health. It was nice that the priest and everybody that would come by on a daily basis and stop in, and it was always nice to hear the prayers when you were in the hospital. We felt like, through this whole process that, God worked with us to put the right people in the right place at the right time for us. And from the day that I showed up at the surgery that morning, and there was 100 people outside. 100 people outside cheering us on. What everybody did and all the kind words and everything that came through social media and all the encouraging messages that were sent. We're very thankful for Franciscan Health and what they did for us over the last 3 months. And we don't think that we'd be back to where we're at today if it wasn't for all their help and everything that they did.